Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
All right, thank you all for joining me today. You are all a part of the team for English 1 interventions. And so today what we're going to focus on are two TEKS, two standards, looking at the progress checks that have taken place in English 1. So we'll focus on E1.4G, which you do have the meaning of the standard along with the definition or meaning to that TEK. It's also, I have it on the board as well. And we'll be looking at the percentages for that TEK as well as let's talk about the supporting TEK as well, E1.8B. But really focus on E4G because it's a readiness TEK. And let's just look at the interventions and see, is it really helping our students with the strategies that they are implementing in the class? That our teachers are working on. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to think about the TEKS and the incorporation of the TEKS continuously in interventions. Should we have them? Do we think that they're beneficial to kind of look at TEKS specifically as the lessons continue on daily with us working with the Lohman Education Resource? So what are your views and thoughts about that?
There's a pretty good increase looking at that 4G standard between the first progress check and that second progress check. So it would appear that the interventions have helped the students improve when it comes to evaluating those key details.
Okay.
It's also closed the gap from where we were as a campus compared to the district. It closed to 2% for the second progress check as to where it was at 7% before. So that seems to be getting better.
Okay. All right, that looks good. So seems like the Lohman Education Resource is working. And what kind of strategies or activities do you think that we should incorporate because we're looking at the word like evaluate in 4G, and then that's a readiness standard. So we know that we really the students need to pay attention. The teachers need to know how can they incorporate what type of activities that would be on that evaluation level. If we go into depth of knowledge, and their questions that they're asking should be rigorous, but especially looking at Bloom's taxonomy, because the verbs that are in each of these standards, we can tell what level are they on. Are they low level or are they on a higher level? And when we look at evaluate and analyze, we know that the students really need to know how to focus on questions and answer those questions completely, because these type of words are also on the standardized state STAR test.
Have the English 1 department, have they looked into using any of the Leap or instructional strategies? Those are some really good strategies where they have them in categories where it's like they're moving, or these are some review strategies.
Okay.
And I think they're really good strategies for the students to use to keep them engaged, so that they're grasping those ideas, those TEKS.
Okay.
I would agree on that, and you can even look at some of the strategies that are already differentiated in terms of categories on addressing, like the evaluate, the analyze. Not only are they engaging, but Leap Forward has a great resource bank for that.
Okay. That would be great. So.
And when we think about analyzing text and using that to respond to prompts, of course, we want to promote the RACE method and having them restate the prompt, answer it, and cite that evidence, and explain how that ties into actually answering the question.
Okay.
I appreciate you saying that because as I think about us wondering what the students are thinking, I know we write in English all the time, but I really appreciate you saying that because that really is how we need to evaluate what they're thinking. So any responses they have, maybe if they have multiple choice questions and the intervention, whatever it is, but if they were able to write out a response using, say, maybe the RACE method, so it's consistent, that would help us as the educators to be able to see truly what they're thinking.
Right, okay.
Can
Thank
we
you.
see if there's ways to be cross-curricular with it, with social studies, especially, but all subject matters where we can maybe have the English teachers come into the social studies PLCs and
Okay,
talk about how we're using this in English and it can transfer over into the social studies realm as well as other subjects.
absolutely.
Could I ask a question? And this might be for Alexis. What do you feel has been the strength in helping our students gain positive results in this data? When you look at what we've done as far as the intervention.
I would like to think, in my classes in particular, it's that confidence. And I like to remind them that you know what to expect. A lot of these questions are very common and typical. So we talk about some of the 5 main question types that students will see on the STAR, and I like to empower them to anticipate that. And then touching on the aspect of the cross-curricular instruction, for example, when we talk about including direct evidence into a sentence, we look at it like an equation. And we think about all the different components that you need to equal that cited evidence in your response.
All right. Well, thank you all for meeting today and giving all of these suggestions. So we will come back together for a second meeting to see when we will implement them on what particular days. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. What's our minute time?